From Gladiator to Hero, the epic Battle of Cannae. The scent of blood and dust filled the air as Marcus stood among the ranks of the Roman army, gripping his gladius tightly. He was no ordinary soldier, once a slave, once a gladiator, and now a warrior of Rome. His journey from the blood-soaked sands of the Colosseum to the vast battlefield of Cannae was nothing short of destiny. He had fought for survival in the arena, winning the favor of a Roman general who granted him freedom. But Marcus was not content with freedom alone. He sought purpose. And so, when Rome called for men to fight against Hannibal's advancing army, he answered. Now, under the scorching sun of 216 BCE, he found himself facing the greatest threat Rome had ever known. Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian mastermind, had lured the Romans into a trap. The Roman legions, numbering nearly 80,000, stood in tight formations, confident in their overwhelming numbers. Marcus could hear the triumphant roars of his comrades, unaware of the doom that awaited them. Then the battle began. The Roman forces pushed forward, clashing with Hannibal's centre. At first, it seemed like victory was within reach. The Carthaginian line buckled under pressure. But Marcus noticed something others did not. Hannibal's troops were falling back in a controlled retreat, pulling the Romans deeper into a crescent-shaped formation. A sense of dread settled in Marcus's gut. He had seen such tactics before, not in war, but in the gladiatorial games, a predator luring its prey into false confidence. The trap was sprung. Hannibal's cavalry, led by Hannibal, crashed into the Roman rear, cutting off any chance of escape. At the same time, Carthaginian forces closed in from the sides, encircling the legions in a perfect pincer movement. The proud Roman army was now trapped, suffocating in its own numbers. Screams filled the battlefield. Soldiers fell by the thousands, trampled, slaughtered, crushed beneath their comrades. Marcus fought with all his might, cutting down Carthaginian warriors as they swarmed around him. His mind flashed back to the arena. There he had fought for survival, but here he fought for Rome. Hours passed, and the sun began to set. The battlefield was now a graveyard. Over 50,000 Romans lay dead, including the highest-ranking commanders. The once invincible legions had been utterly destroyed. Marcus, bloodied and exhausted, found himself surrounded. A Carthaginian soldier raised his spear for the final strike. Marcus closed his eyes, accepting his fate. But the blow never came. He opened his eyes to see a shadow looming over him, Hannibal himself. The Carthaginian general studied him with a curious gaze. "You fight like a man who has already conquered death," Hannibal said. Marcus remained silent, breathing heavily. Hannibal smiled. "Rome will fall one day, but not today. Tell them what happened here." With that, Marcus was spared. A witness to Rome's darkest hour, a survivor who would carry the tale of Cannae back to the eternal city. And so, the gladiator-turned-warrior would live, not as a hero of victory, but as a messenger of Rome's greatest defeat.